Welcome to a new Daily Top Askreddit video. Today's topic.
What movie has the greatest opening of all time? Au revoir Shoshana. That turn from Landa just being polite and charming to, you're sheltering Jews, is just hair-raising. Tarantino said he kept Waltz out of all the rehearsals so that the reactions from the cast on film would be genuine. And one point when he asks one of the daughters to get him some milk, he grabs her wrist is a friendly way. Waltz later said that his character had the ulterior motives of checking her pulse to see if she was nervous. The subtlety of his character was as terrifying as anything. Christoph Waltz is such a talented actor. Unfortunately, I don't think that a lot of directors know how to properly utilize his true skill for subtlety and nuance. Saving Private Ryan. Saving Private Ryan lost Best Picture at the Academy to Shakespeare in Love. Think about that. Gwyneth Paltrow has an Academy Award for acting. We can blame Weinstein for this. I took my grandfather to SPR when it came out in theaters. He was a medic who stormed the beach in Normandy. I had to take him home right after that scene. He said it was so real that he couldn't possibly watch anymore. I'd already seen it, so when we took my great-uncle I paid attention to his reaction. He wasn't in the room for some of those scenes, if that makes sense. The film was famous for setting off war veterans' PTSD. I think a new helpline for veterans was set up just because of the film. I was working in a movie theater when it came out and I had to help a gentleman and his wife out to their car after that opening. Removed. And she nailed the escalation from unease to utter terror. Shay 7N did the opposite with Kevin Spacey. They hid him from all promotional material. So when he shows up in the middle of the movie, all covered in blood, shouting, "Detective!" at the top of his lungs, you immediately know he's the bad guy. You see him before that, when he takes a picture of Brad Pitt at the scene of the sloth murder. But if you don't already know it's him, it's pretty hard to notice. As far back as I remember, I always wanted to be a gangster. People looked at me differently and they knew I was with somebody. At 13, I was making more money than most of the grown-ups in the neighborhood. I mean, I had more money than I could spend. I had it all. One day the kids from the neighborhood carried my mother's groceries all the way home. You know why? It was out of respect. Today, everything is different. There's no action. I have to wait around like everyone else. Can't even get decent food. Right after I got here I ordered some spaghetti with marinara sauce and I got egg noodles and ketchup. I'm an average nobody. I get to live the rest of my life like a schnook. Removed. Films have their own Wikipedia page, where plot is usually a section inside. However, the intro of Up is so influential that the intro itself has its own wiki page. That tells you everything. I'm convinced that this was originally just a really good short, and one of the higher-ups was like, nope, make this into a whole movie. I honestly couldn't tell you about the rest of the movie. I think there was a kid and the squirrel, quote, dog. I think there was a bad guy chasing them in a Zeppelin for some reason. This is how I feel. I think the movie itself is kinda me. I've even seen it twice. The old man and the boy seriously are so likable and I adore them, but I wish they were in a better movie. But holy shit, the opening is perfect. I do remember the end though. It ends on him finding like the final page of their journal and him not realizing his wife had written something else. Something like go on and find your next big adventure even if I'm not there, and TBH it hits just as hard as the opening. But the whole in between wasn't so great. Raiders of the Lost Ark! Exclamation mark. No contest. It's movie magic defined. I think this is probably the definitive answer. It's so famous that the live-action show at Disney World is literally that part of the movie 42 years after it came out. Contact. Starting at Earth, then panning out of the solar system, then the galaxy, then out to the edge of the universe. All while listening to older and older radio transmissions. Genius. I feel like the similarly amazing intro to Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets had to be inspired by Contact. Too bad about the rest of that movie though. The Dark Knight. No, I kill the bus driver. What bus driver? Hey, what happened to the rest of the guys? Quote, my favorite of favorites. It's the perfect exposition for new Joker. A daytime bank heist. He kills his entire crew. No cheesy background story. No super abilities. He's got a nasally voice. Batman's sleeping at home. They coulda left Batman out of the movie and it still would have rocked with just Joker versus the Mafia. NGL. One of the scariest moments of Jokerness in that movie is when the black mafioso that called a hit on Joker gets killed with his two henchmen restrained. And Joker announced tryouts for the team. Such a good representation of chaotic evil. Office Space. When he looks over and notices that the old man with the walker has gone further than he has in his car. Trying to rap, all hardcore in his car. Then getting scared and locking his doors when he thinks he in danger. Lol. Got my pistol point cocked. Ready to lay shots non-stop. Till I see ya monkey ass drop. And let all your homies know who done it. I think about this every time I'm stuck in traffic. The Matrix. Screenwriter guy. We're gonna start the movie with some cops trying to arrest this lady Trinity and she's gonna kick all their butts. Producer guy. How is she gonna do that? Screenwriter guy. In such a way that movies are gonna try to imitate for a full decade. We sent 2 units. They're bringing her down now. Quote. No. Lieutenant. Your men are already dead. Quote.